Alright. Welcome to Sideboard MTG. My name's Eric, and we're going to play some subscriber decks. We've got three sweet decks for you guys. We've got a Command the Dread Horde deck, we've got a Dimir Flash deck, and a Kethis Legends deck. We're going to be playing this over here on MTGO. And if you guys want to play on MTGO and you don't have a card collection, don't forget to check out manatraders. Manatraders is a rental service for MTGO where you can have access to all of the cards in standard or modern, legacy, vintage, whatever you want to play for a flat rate. It's a pretty good deal, and if you do decide to sign up, use the link in the description box to help the channel. And if you want to help yourself, make sure you use the coupon code SideboardMTG to save yourself 15% on your first 3 months. Alright, so let's jump into our first deck here. This first one is going to be Dimir Flash. This was created by Tier 1 Jank, I do believe, and he's probably here in chat. I think he was just a moment ago. Pretty sweet deck, right? Like, we've been playing around with the Simic Flash decks. I know you guys have seen Simic Flash in the past, and if you've been playing on Arena during week 1, I know you've seen some Simic Flash, and the deck's been pretty good. And it may not actually just be a flash in the pan, you know, but the deck's pretty interesting. And here we've got another variant on that Simic Flash deck, and it's a Dimir Flash. Now, personally, I don't believe that this is going to have the power that Simic Flash had, but Blue-Black Control has always been one of those underlying decks that always rides at least Tier 2 or better, you know. There's normally enough blue and black cards to create a decent control deck. So I'm not going to discount this deck by any means before we get some gameplay in. What's up, Gary Miller? How you doing? Cameron, Tier 1 Jank, Robert, how is everyone? Madness, what's up? Oh no, MTGO's doing that thing again. It'll pick up. Robert says, seems a lot weaker than Simic Flash, no 7 power for 4 mana. Agreed. And that's the real thing that kind of makes Simic Flash like a tier 1.5 deck, not like a tier 2 deck, right? I'm not going to say that Simic Flash is like a tier 1 deck, because I don't believe that it is. I mean, I've played the deck quite a bit, and I don't believe it's a tier 1 deck. But I don't believe it's quite a tier 2 deck either. So it falls there in the middle somewhere. And Simic Flash would actually be a really good deck for if you like that Drago playstyle. It'd be a good deck to be on this season. You have more than an adequate chance at taking down every F&M. You've got a really good chance at taking down any major events you go to. I mean, the deck can win tournaments and has won tournaments. So, have I played the Bant Zombieland? Yes, I have, and I have all the cards on Arena. We're going to be playing. That tomorrow night. Bant Zombieland. That deck is super sweet, but like you got to get some reps with it to understand like what to search for when you're ramping. So, Eric, could I please do a shout out? Rose, how you doing, Rose? Hi. We're gonna be playing some Magic, and I hope you enjoy, Rose. So, hi, Rose. Oh, come on. MTGO is gonna have to be restarted. It just updated, and ever since this newest update, it has been doing this a lot. I assume that they've got like the go-to gamer excuse. There's a memory leak. I don't know what's going on with it, but memory leaks are normally fixed with just restarting the program. So we might have to go that route. Come on. Your deck broke, MTGO. Some things are just so bad. MTGO's like I'm not playing it, right? I'm sorry, Jank. That was a low blow. My bad. I actually think the deck's, got some merit. You will for sure be running or tuning in for Zombieland tomorrow night. Well, awesome. I now want to name it Zombieland in my thumbnail. I haven't made the thumbnail for it yet, so I'll end up making the thumbnail tonight after stream, and I'm very tempted to call it Zombieland. It really is a Field of the Dead deck. The deck survives off of Field of the Dead, whether you have Field of the Dead, like you ramp into it, or you just have it in your opening hand. Like, the deck survives off the field of the deck. Actually have to have escape shift to win. Um, there's a lot of weird lines that you can take. Like I have won games where the proper line ended up being, because I was going to do multiple escape shifts and I had a bunch of stuff like that. The proper line was to go ahead and get all three of my Field of the Deads out of the deck. Like, we're talking turn 4, just grabbed all three Field of the Deads and then started ramping at everything else, and it got outrageous. Oh my goodness, the number of times I've made like 30 zombies is ridiculous. So by the way, notice the likes dislikes have been hidden for the past few streams. Any reason in particular for that? Or I will have to check. I don't remember turning anything off, but I will check on that madness. Thanks for pointing that out. The deck's nuts. Averages turn 5 yes, like the speed at which that deck can produce 20-30 zombies, it can race a red deck. It's stupid. That deck is stupid. It could be a contender for a top tier deck in the format, but I don't actually think so. Just because, as long as the control decks have ways to wipe your board. I mean, but how many times can they wipe a board, right? Is this standard? This is going to be standard. You talking about the Zombieland deck, the Escape Shift deck we're talking about? Yeah, it's standard. We'll be playing it on Arena tomorrow night. Can you still like or dislike, but the number of... Oh, okay. I don't know what's up with that. I will look. LSV took down the Denver Magic Fest. Nice, nice. What was it? Was he playing the Zombieland deck? Because like I cruised through platinum with it into diamond, like just cruised. I don't think I took a single loss going through platinum. How can you submit a deck? You can submit a deck by going over to the Sideboard MTG subreddit. There's a link in the description box below. And you can jump over there and you can submit a deck. Oh no, I've got to fix this now. That means the sideboard that I threw together for the flash deck is no longer there. All right, so this deck was presented without a sideboard. Some people do that because like some people play best of one. I still don't. I think best of one's I think best of one is mobile Magic, right? Like best of one's got its purpose, right? Like it is really good for like mobile Magic. Like if you're on the go and you've got your laptop, I guess. I mean, I assume that eventually MTGA will be on cell phones and everything else, and when it is, like, best of one's going to be great for that. You're sitting at the doctor's office, you're waiting on something, you get a quick game in, you move on, right? You're waiting in line at the DMV or whatever, you get a quick game in, you move on. That I don't know, DMV, you probably run a tournament waiting in that line, right? Yeah, like you run a best of 3 7-match tournament waiting at the DMV. But moving on. All right, so we'll talk about the sideboard as we get there, but we're going to jump into what the creator actually did here. We're running Opt. We've also got Spectral Sailors. All right, so let's look at what Simic Flash has and what this deck has. And I know I probably shouldn't be comparing it to a standard, a higher tier deck, as this is a brew. But there are some similarities in the deck. For one, we've got Spectral Sailor, which is flash 1/1 that can draw you a card for 4 mana. Pretty good late game mana sink, really really nice. We've got Brineborn Cutthroat, which is the powerhouse, literal powerhouse in these decks. Coming down early and then just growing and requiring an answer out of your opponent. Absolutely wonderful. Can outgrow most things and get yourself to the point where you can Like, I have blocked Carnage Tyrants profitably with this thing. It is ridiculous how big it gets. And for that, we do need to be casting everything on our opponent's turn, right? So out of that, that's kind of why the deck needs to be flash. But there's a lot of other perks to having flash. We also have access to Merfolk Trickster. Now, this is not a pirate; it is a wizard. We've got Wizard's Retort because this deck shouldn't have Wizard's Retort. This deck should not have Wizard's Retort. I mean, I guess it's fine for a 3-mana counterspell, but you don't. You got one wizard. You got one wizard in the deck. Like, would this not be better as the pirate counter? I mean, I know they can pay 4 and get away with it, but so in that case, since I'm very unlikely to be able to get the benefit off of the wizard, like, we know in the past that you normally need about 8, right? At least 8. If you can possibly get up to 12 wizards, then you're great, but you normally need about 8. So if we're only going to be running 4 wizards, Direfleet's not a wizard, right? If we're only going to be running 4 wizards, then I think that Sinister Sabotage is just better, right? Like, because if I'm going to be paying 3 mana for it, at least then I can get a Surveil out of it and help, like, maybe pitch a land off the top of my library, so I don't have to deal with that business later. The other one is Lookout's Dispersal. Oh, I typed pirates. The other card that I would consider in this deck would be Lookout's Dispersal, if I can find it. 2 mana. Where you be, Lookouts? Am I just missing it, chat? What is going on? I'm missing it, aren't I? I'm just like here it is. Yeah, Lookout's Dispersal is the card that should probably be in there. I'll throw it in the sideboard for now. But I don't know if I can agree with Wizard's Retort. Second on that, we've got Blink of an Eye. Okay, so we can return any permanent, but Unsummon is so powerful and fits in with your spells so well and removes blockers that also increase your... I mean, yes, you can do the same thing with Blink of an Eye, but 2 mana is so much worse than 1 mana. So, Jund Aristocrats. I want to say I play the Jund Aristocrats, but I don't know. Yes, Negate is in a really good spot right now. Let's throw a sideboard together for this. We've also got Lazotep Plating. I would rather just counter the spell that might be trying to target me, right? So I don't like Lazotep Plating in this deck. I mean, we're trying to protect what? A creature? So Dive Down would potentially do it for 1. I mean, I guess we're protecting ourselves from like a Thought Erasure, but Spell Pierce will do that. As far as early goes, so I don't know how much I can back some of the choices in this deck, Jank. Like, I know I'm ripping poor tier Jank's deck apart, right? Like, yeah, but you went with some really expensive versions of what makes the other deck good, and when you start having to pay double the price for those same effects, you're putting yourself an entire turn behind. And how many times have you lost that game and you were like, I just needed 1 more turn, right? Cheaper converted mana cost is how you get that extra turn, right? That's how you kill that turn earlier. Keep your converted mana cost low. Also in this deck, like, it's definitely more on a controlling front. They're on a control. This is more on a controlling front because you're spending your 4 mana to cast a Vraska's Contempt to deal with something. You're also not applying a lot of pressure to the board. So there's I don't think this deck's going to compare to Simic Flash. So maybe I should just stop trying to compare it to Simic Flash and see it as its own beast or creation, right? Let's go ahead and get some spell pierces and things of that nature in here, and then we'll go from there, chat. Let's get a sideboard because we need a sideboard. I'm going to just grab us a... You know what? Why am I getting that art? Let's go get the old 10th edition art. I think that's 10th edition. We definitely need a few duress. You know what? It's pirates, so let's do the pirate duress. Like, the look on this dude's face is just... Anyway, the pirate card, right? What else do we need? Probably some cast downs, right? Yeah, cast downs probably necessary here. What else are we looking for? Negate? Yeah, negate. Do I have any special negates? Probably not. Probably not. No. I got rid of all of that. Nah. Bam, we got a 15 card sideboard. Looks horrible. Probably not right at all, but at least we've got some options. Shall we need them, right? One of the reasons to be in black with a flash deck though is actually Direfleet Poisoner, right? Like, it's a kill spell on a body. Really, really cool card. Works well with your other pirates, and not bad at all. All right. You feel like the Dimir version of Flash is more hateful than the Simic version? Depends on what you hate. I mean, I hate getting beat down by wolves. It happens. Yeah, this definitely has a lot more like creature hate and things like that, and has access to have that creature hate. I mean, we can allow a creature to resolve because we can kill it, and you can't really do that with the Simic version, right? Like, the Simic version doesn't play well from behind unless you can start getting your creatures out and then start catching up from there, which I guess actually does make it play fairly well from behind because you have a lot of power for a low converted mana cost. I mean, you're putting virtually 7 power on the battlefield for 4 mana. I mean, when you play your wolf and stuff. So let's just jump into some gameplay. Let's see how it goes. I can be completely unwarranted with all of my griping about a deck, but all right. So we'll just go to tournament practice best of 3 here. Dimir Flash. And see what happens. We'll see what happens. You'd say swap out Lookout's Dispersal and Unsummon, leaving plating. Then that swap should have been made before it was posted. You feel like Dimir version of Flash is more... Yeah. Like, I will give you my opinions on a deck, but I'm not going to rebuild. I'm not going to rebuild decks. Like, if you post your deck and the deck's got completely inferior cards in it, then the decks might lose, and that is what it is. So we've got a weird line here. Because we have 2 ops, I think I can get away with turning like the turn 1 op. So we'll go from there. All right, so got to get my buttons right here. About phrasing. Yeah, I don't understand phrasing. Oops. Cue the Flash Gordon theme. Spectral Sailor. Alright, well, you know what? Looks like we're about to find out, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, hell, we ain't. Huh. Huh. Let's draw a card. I'd like to hit that third land. Do we need that? I don't think so. I mean, if we can get some Brandborn Cutthroats down, if we can get some more blue mana, all of these things would be great. I am so tempted to slam this Brandborn Cutthroat right now, just because it would almost assure that I could get it onto the battlefield. I think it's the proper play. Because if he untaps, he could counter me, right? Do we want him to spend his counter? That's normally how you beat this deck. You gotta make them spend their counter spells. So we gotta hope that we have more threats than they have counters. Alright, well, we'll give it a shot. Okay, so they are just blue-white flyers. Okay. May be able to do something in just a moment. We're going to take a little bit of a beating before then. Definitely need more lands, so I'm going to have to opt this turn. And because we don't have the blue mana, like I can't even counter. This does me like no good, does it? I'm not swinging in because he knows I can't put a +1/+1 counter on it during my turn. Okay. Can't do anything about the flyers. I have to opt for a land here. As much as I want to add more to the battlefield, I have to opt for a land. That will do me no good. There's the land. Alright. We're rocking and rolling now, ladies and gentlemen. We're not just dead. I would have loved to have traded with one of his creatures here. I have to go for this to reduce damage. As much as I want to go Brandborn Cutthroat into SirEklz or into another Brandborn Cutthroat and set up for a great turn, I have to try to kill this. Otherwise, we're gonna fall way too far behind. Yeah. Vampires follow a gain and drain strat. Oh, Spell Pierce, the power of 1 mana. GG. I mean, we have a pirate. I mean, we can attempt to stay alive. I think I have to attempt to eat this and take 4. Spray can't do anything about it. Well, so we take 4. We go to 1, right? If this works, if we get to block the Empyrean Eagle, we take 4. We go to 1, and then we're just so screwed. Yeah, we're it's over. This is over. Just waiting for our opponent to just show me the counter spell. Essence capture. Yeah. Getting an extra +1/+1 counter in there. What do pirates have? Treasure? Which they don't even do that well, you might add. No, they're actually really bad at producing treasure. They're supposed to go out and find it, right? The pirates go get the treasure. Right. Well, I mean, we're still seeing pirates being printed, in the sets after the fact. So, I mean, we may get more pirate support in the future, but that would only be for historic, right? The historic format. So, all right. So, let's get rid of the junk. All right. So we want the unsummons. Lookout's dispersal is gonna be good here. This is way too expensive. Chemist's Insight can get out of here. I guess I'd rather have Op than Chemist's Insight. This is just not the value I'm looking for 4 mana. I see this deck as being an aggressive deck, so I don't think Negate's the greatest thing in the world. Alright, we're gonna go with this. Which is currently Arena exclusive. You talking about historic? Like, historic decks are currently Arena exclusive? Just because it's a Merfolk Trickster, I think we can play it. We'll Memorial Genius on 1, then pay our life on 2. You've been busy with moving and stuff? Gotta love moving. Oh my goodness. Like, 1 year thanks to the Marine Corps and moving from on-base housing to a different on-base housing to a different on-base housing, and then moving to a different station, and then moving to different on-base housing, like temporary housing, and then into another. Me and my wife moved 9 times in a 12-month period. It was ridiculous. Like, being in the military, like I moving. Luckily, you just don't own anything, right? Like, so you ain't got a lot to move, but still. Not sanctioned in paper whatsoever. Then what? Well, there goes our threat. I mean, I could have just unsummoned it, but I was afraid him, I don't know, dive down would have still saved it. I don't. That seems like a fair trade to me. This deck's very black as far as the mana base goes. The mana just keeps handing me black. Should have opted it end of turn there. Got rid of that extra land. Put that on the bottom. Like, thanks to like low converted mana cost spells, we've cast 3 spells this turn with 4 mana. Like, being able to multiple spell is very, very important. It's very important. And then we're looking at being able to sacrifice a Memorial Genius next turn. Keeping that converted mana cost, sure, you can have the favorable wins. So many lands. I mean, our opponent's down to one last card in hand, though, so we can probably get ahead of him here. All right. And he scoops it up. Looks like both decks flooded there. Yeah, yeah. I mean, we kept a hand that had 2 spells in it and five lands, but they were the spells I wanted, so I kept them. Like, I felt that Merfolk Trickster was going to be really, really good in that matchup, and it seems I was right. Like, being able to take away those Curious Obsessions and keep our opponent from being able to actually, make, relatively decent plays was very valid. All right. Well, we have to go for it here. He's probably going to Spectral Sailor into a favorable wins, but we'll see. He may have the Curious Obsession. Siren Storm Tamer. Siren Storm Tamer. We should have got it. We should have brought in like some type of board sweeper in the side. That would have been sweet. We'll definitely have to play a blue source here. Merfolk Trickster will turn on both. So it's definitely, I'm going to attempt to play the Merfolk Trickster here. If our opponent's going to tap out, then I'm going to kill the draw engine. I can't hit the Imperial Eagle because or Empyrean Eagle, just because like these will still have flying and I won't be able to trade with either of them. That's right, it loses flying, so hey, that worked better than I didn't even think about the fact that it would lose flying and wouldn't get the buff. For some reason I was just thinking this buffed all, like a standard Anthem, you know what I mean? No way he snaps off this block. No way. Oh, it's not a pirate. Why did I do that? Oh, that was horrible. I mean, this is not going to kill anything anyway, but geez, it was a horrible play. I, for some reason, thought it was a pirate. That's what I get for not playing with the card more. Tocatli Honor Guard. He brought that in out of his sideboard. Yeah, we're gonna lose to the Flyers. I don't think the Merfolk Trickster would have changed that. It would allow me to counter Tocatli Honor Guard. Yeah, it was a punt, but I'm not for sure that the punt's what will kill us here. I think I have to start killing these Siren Storm Tamers. Another eagle. Alright, so we'll kill a Siren Storm Tamer. Do I just counter the eagle? It would have mattered because it would have been able to retort as well. There could be a way out of this. I don't think we can push enough damage before he just ones us to death, even if we can get rid of the eagle. Yeah, pretty sure this game's over. I will keep that. See, if I hadn't have traded, or if I hadn't have lost my dude, I would have been able to push, what, one more damage here? Yeah, it wouldn't have mattered. Wouldn't have mattered. Yeah, Essence Scatter, the deck could use Essence Scatter. Like, the big thing I would say if you're trying to build like a Dimir flash deck is actually go look at the Simic flash deck, right? Just go look at it and look at the choice of cards they chose to put in it. You're not going to find Opt in it. You're not going to find Chemister's Insight in it. You're not going to find 4 mana kill spells in it. And like 2 mana, you're not going to find cards like Lazotep Plating in it. You're not going to spend 2 mana for your bounce spell. Like you're going to be running Unsummon, and like at least look at the version of the deck that is doing well. And if you're going to alter, you're going to build a different variation of that deck. At least keep the parts of the real deck that are good that also fit into your deck. Like, yeah. I'm gonna move on. I don't like that Dimir deck. Sorry, Jank. I hate that you fell victim to one of the decks that I just did not like, but I am not a fan of that creation, sir. This next one here is a Command the Dreadhorde deck. I haven't went over it much, so we're going to take a look at it together. This deck is using cards like Burglar Rat. We're running Dusk Legion Zealot. We're running Orzhov Enforcer, Seeker Squire, Plague Crafter, Midnight Reaper, Basilica Bellhaunt, maybe gain a little bit of life. We've got the Wanderer because, you know, that's one of those things you want to do, right? Like you want to have a Wanderer on the battlefield, cast Command the Dreadhorde, get back all of the things for free, sack them all to God Eternal Bond 2, draw 1,000,000 more cards, cast all of those cards, get all of your creatures killed so that you can cast another Command the Dreadhorde. Looks like it would be a lot of fun, right? Will it work in practice? I have not had luck with the Wanderer and Command the Dreadhorde. So here we are, week 2, and we're playing a lot of jank. Is it just me, chat, or am I am really brutal on the decks today. Duress in the sideboard, more Burglar Rat, Kitesail Freebooter, we've got some Davriel. Golden Demise this is actually a really good card. I can kind of get behind Golden Demise because you don't lose your own dudes. Also, when I say you don't lose your own dudes, it doesn't exile your dudes, right? So I think that Golden Demise is probably right for an aristocrat style deck. Like if you need to be able to sweep the board, you don't want to wipe the board. So we've also got some D Sparks here to help deal with some of the bigger stuff. We've just got an Orzhov, the Wanderer, Command the Dreadhorde, and that little combo itself will work really well. So I look forward to seeing if we can make this happen. But I would really, really love to see some cheap removal in the deck. If we come up against a deck like what we just played against, I don't think we stand much of a chance. just because we're not going to be very aggressive spending 2 mana for a 1/1. I mean, yes, we're going to get to discard, make them discard a card, but we're not going to be able to clock anything with this. And like, this deck is really wanting to go into the late game. Otherwise, you wouldn't be trying to cast, you know, a 6 converted mana cost spell, right? Like, so you want to go into the late game with 6 drops, you know. So I would love to see a little bit more cheap removal in the deck, some cast downs. Like, I can't for the life of me understand why people are backing off of cast down right now. Even a few more copies of Ravenous Super Copper probably wouldn't be that bad in this deck. So, all right. So James Carr said also people's opinions on Ashiok for all blue and black sideboards for Scape Shift decks, because you can't search your library, right? So if that zombie deck does become big, and I actually think it will, because I'm telling you, like, the deck is the real deal. Um, if that deck picks up steam and people want to be playing it, because it's probably the best ramp deck in standard right now. Uh, I'm going to catch hell for that statement, but I would I would actually probably give Ashiok a little bit more thought. I mean, it would be a perfect counter. You turn 3 and Ashiok against that deck, they're dead. They're dead. Like, if you have, you can beat them to death with a 2/2 at that point. It's just because you don't even have to ever downtick Ashiok for mill or anything like that. All you have to do is just make sure that they can't kill Ashiok, which they actually have a hard time dealing with Planeswalkers. So if they can't kill Ashiok, they can't search. If they can't search for their lands, they dead, right? Heaven forbid you get somebody that actually, says, I'm going to scape shift away, five cards. You're like, okay, just go ahead and put those cards into your graveyard there. Ashiok says no on this next part here. I mean, we get people all the time with J, or is it J? No, with Teferi and Narset. So people thinking they can cast instant speeds with Teferi, people thinking they can draw cards with Narset. If you haven't fallen victim to Narset or Teferi at least once, you're a much better player than I am, because I still forget. Dang it, I can't draw that card. Happens all the time. So this deck's pretty straightforward, though. We want to play a bunch of cheap creatures and get as much value as we can out of those cheap creatures. There's some reasons for some of these cards being chosen. I assume that Seeker Squire, so that you can assure you hit your land drops. I assume that Orzhov Enforcer is for the afterlife and the death touch, being able to trade your early creature with one of their bigger creatures, and then still getting a token from it. Dusk Legion Zealot, keeping your hand full. Burglar Rat, making sure their hand doesn't stay full. Same thing with Midnight Reaper, drawing cards. Plague Crafter, being able to make sure that they do lose some of their creatures. And then a couple Mortifies, along with Basilica Bell Haunt and everything. It looks like a sweet deck, so let's go play it. Very proud of your Mardu Hero deck, 4-0ing this previous FNM. Oh, didn't you? Did you 4-0 week before last and this week with Mardu? Are you tearing it up with the Mardu Hero? I'll keep this hand, just because we have like the Seeker Squires and stuff. Like, we've got a lot of spells that we can cast for this 2 mana. There's a Wanderer. You managed to 3-0 your showdown. Turns out you just needed to see red deck to really take off. You just needed to see red deck to really take off. What? Wow. All of the ramp in the world. Kind of want a Seeker Squire. Hit that land drop. Mono black aggro. See, that's a good idea, though. At least you have multiple decks, so people aren't just Hey, it's Deb's deck. We're playing against Deb's deck. Turn 3 Hydra for 6. Turn 3 6, 6, 7? Yeah. Seems like that's a thing. Oh, it's 4 mana. Can't do it. Oh, Wanderer. I guess we just lay down a Death Toucher so he's less inclined to swing with the Hydra. Oh, okay. So you needed to show up, like you needed red deck to show up against you because of your life gain. You do get to prey on the red decks. Understood. If he swings with this, I'll trade the Seeker Squire for it. Buy. Madness says, telling y'all, buy your voracious hyenas now. You would had to be here for the spoilers to get that joke, but buy your voracious hydras now. He's going to be a thing. It's just dumb. I actually do think this card's pretty good. This card's pretty decent. Land. Land. Come on, land drop. Buy those hydras. Oh, there's a Nissa. There be the Nissa. Druid. I think that's a proper play anyway. I don't think I can swing in here. this one too with Death Touch holding back the army. There's nothing we can really do there. You can kill the forest, if possible. Right? Like, that's the card you wanna kill right now, right? Just be done with those forest. And then just hopefully we can get into more land and go from there. I'll be able to Plague Crafter next turn. Like, hopefully we can hit one more land. I can double spell turn. Oh, come on, opponent. That ain't cool. Still not interested in swinging. Alright, well, we still have to do things here. I think Basilica Bellhaunt's one of those things we need to do. And then if he ever decides he wants to swing, then we can block. Well, there's his emblem. Don't really see how... I don't see how we get out of this. I mean, it's possible there's a way. right? A guild gate? It's not even a temple. Why ain't that a temple? Yeah. I mean, the temples are rare. Maybe the guy who built this didn't have rares. Alright, so he went and got every forest in his deck. So this turned out burglar rat, right? I don't understand this attack. Oh, he's indestructible. It just doesn't matter. That's why. That'd be why. Alright, so let's do the burglar rats. What's his last card? Hope it's this. It was a Leafkin Druid. I mean, I can't really swing. I mean, the fact that his lands are indestructible is going to be pretty bad. Yeah, it's brutal. Beating this Nissa emblem is... it's going to be hard. And he top decked a Nissa. So we can block one of them. Block the other two like this. I think I swing with Basilica Bohan here. Maybe he'll kill it. Come on, do it with the Orzhov Enforcer. Orzhov Enforcer. Alright, he's just gonna block with all the lands. I'm just gonna take everything. Um, there's not really much I can do here. We have no way to get over his board state. Like, I don't even know if we can win this in the long game. Alright, so... burglar rats in front of lands. Basically, Zealot jumps in front of a land. We can just block one without losing a body. And we take the one thanks to the flyer. Maybe I shouldn't have given him that flyer. Like, I wanted to get it back on my side of the board, but... Alright, so we can bail haunt here. And we can actually do quite a few things. I mean, we could cast our entire hand, but like, I don't see a point in casting the other Wanderer. Well, I want to get rid of Chew, just to guarantee that it's in my graveyard. So if we swing at Nissa, we lose it. We swing at Nissa, we lose that one. And then he can also eat this one and this one. And he can just chump another. We still can't pressure Nissa. Alright. Make it Moist Abzan? Maybe. Billy Zane was the voice actor for Ansem in Kingdom Hearts 1. We can't get over top of this deck. I'm scooping. Yeah, we just don't have enough ways to get over in game one. Game two, though, I mean, we can come up with some things. The problem is we still can't like deal with those lands. And Davril might help, but I doubt it. So what do we not want? Burglar Rat's okay, but I guess that's one of our first cuts. What's our second cut? Seeker Squire, Midnight Reaper, Mortify, Basilica's probably great. Maybe it's Seeker Squire? I don't really like doing that. Maybe it's actually all the Wanderer, but it does kill the Hydras. Finale is what you need to deal with Nissa, really. That's a great way to deal with. I think I'm just dead if I'm having a D-Spark, but maybe you're right. I can't stand that spell. I mean, it's a good spell. I don't know why, but I just have this stigma about D-Spark. I shouldn't have kept this hand. I'm gonna have to play this deck again. Yeah, we're just gonna play this again. I don't want to play against this deck. This Nissa deck's going to destroy us anyway. Let's try something else. Do we have Massacre Girl? No, we do not have Massacre Girl. We do not have. We have a strategy, and the strategy is play a bunch of cheap dudes that do something, right? Whether they make someone discard a card, or they make someone sacrifice a creature, or they draw us a card. Show us on the doll where the D-Spark hurts you, right? Yeah. Actually, keep this hand. Yeah. We have Corpse. No, we do not have Corpse Knight. We do not have Knight of the Ebon Legion. We do not have Corpse Knight. We do not have any aggressive plays whatsoever. So I don't. I just go ahead and dump that. We already have a Plague Crafter. What? Field of the Dead. I'm gonna upgrade. Upgrade, make our opponent discard a card. Wow, he discarded a Haunt of High Tower. Okay. So, are we about to get Field of the Dead milled here, or... This card gets out so outrageous. Gates has become Scape Shift combo. There's Clear the Mind. Just go ahead and put his Haunt back in his deck, right? Draw a card. I'm actually going to play this Seeker Squire first and see if I can hit a land to be able to get into this Dusk Legion Zealot. I assume he's going to have a way to kill us, so I want that. Bond of Insight. Alright, so this is a mill deck. Just don't mill my Command the Dread Horde. Never gonna let you forget. Haunt is a vampire. You are right. You can. It's one of the bigger vampires that you can throw on the battlefield with Sorin. He milled away my Midnight Reaper. I'm kind of upset about that. It's not much of a Gates deck. Like, I don't know what this deck's doing. It's trying to stay alive right now. That's what it's doing. And a Plains off the top would be just so lovely. Have we found our equal? I think we have. Killing me! You're killing me, Smalls! You're killing me! It might be... It might be a Reanimator deck. You could very well be right. Alright. You think it's Reanimator? We don't have a lot of really good Reanimator targets right now, so we'll see. I do know that he's keeping 7 cards in hand, and he's playing things, so almost everything that he plays is replacing itself. Which means in the later games, he's going to have a lot of options, or in the later turns, he's going to have a lot of options, and he's going to be able to multiple spell. And Arcane Adaptation? He may throw a dinosaur down on us. Let's swing. He's actually got some mana open. Let's swing before we try to play this. Uh-oh. Bedtime for the little ones. It's 10 o'clock. Everybody gotta get in bed. They're not happy. They are not happy. James. Well, dude, you're gonna need to do something about the rest of the battlefield. guess you're not completely dead yet. Well, without a Cry of the Carnarium, he's not going to be able to sweep. I mean, he just tossed another Arcane Adaptation. I kind of want to know what he's got going on here. Mnemonic Betrayal. There it is. Bond of Revival. Haunt of Hightower. Does he have the counterspell back up? Alright. Mortify for the win. Duress is probably big here. Kitesail Freebooter is probably decent. Alright, we'll bring in the D-Spark. Let's get rid of this like higher converted mana cost stuff, right? Let's get rid of the Wanderer. Like, I get it. The Wanderer and Command the Dreadhorde, it's so cute. It works. You don't have to take life. But if you're going to play Command the Dreadhorde, like, it's been proven over the last, like, since this card was printed, that just having good solid creatures that actually just gain you the life back is typically the way you want to go with it. Alright, so I kind of want to bring, like, all of this in. Yes, we take Red out, and for Kitesail Freebooter, cut a couple Seeker Squires and roll with that. I don't like it. Like I don't like my sideboard options here, right? Like I mean I'm trading discard out for discard. Yeah. Quadruplets? What? Maybe. Oh no, I have to mulligan. I've got no black mana. Alright, I'll keep. I'd rather have a hand with no black mana than a hand with or with no white mana than no black mana, because we don't have a lot of white spells. And I can start casting some Dusk Legion Zealots here to hit my third land drop. That's why I put a land back on the battlefield, or on the bottom of the library. There's a Chart of Course. I wonder if he just discards a Haunt. So it is a Bond of Revival deck. Let's just see what he's working with. Let's just know. Let's just know for a minute. So we can get the Search for Escanta, Golden Demise, or Bond of Insight. So he's using Bond of Insight like a Tamiyo +1, right? Do we want to just get rid of Search for Escanta because he can't get that back? I think so. I mean, he can sweep the board and then, like, eventually get it back, but I don't want him just like pitching things in his graveyard for the next turn. Like, he's gonna have to. There we go. He's gonna have to get another black source before he can cast the Golden Demise. I guess I have to start digging for land here. And now I'm not happy about the Kitesail Freebooter with him having Golden Demise in hand. So there's the island. We've seen him play the swamp. This is the Bond of Insight. So we know 2 of his 4 cards. We're just not aggressive. Like, I need a land so I can play Plaguecrafter and trade this one for 3/2. One moment, guys. Lincoln over here listening to what has become of Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood. Little Daniel Tiger there, you know. Some of you know what I'm talking about. I'm gonna get comments. Pico is nice. Oh, Pico de Gallo. Ah, yeah, I like Pico de Gallo. When I when I was in Arizona, all my Spanish friends said that I put too much onion in my Pico de Gallo, but I like it more with onion. Like just onion and lime is good to me. Like I would put onion, lime, and like chili powder on pretty much anything. Yeah. Lime versus salt versus jalapeno versus garlic. Balance is key. Albatross getting down on the getting down on the pico over here. Um, he still hasn't hit that second black source. He did play that Field of Dead. We only know one of the 7 cards in his hand. I guess we take a look. All right. So what does he have here? Multiple golden demise. Guess I take his bond, so he can't get Velas back. We just need to make sure that he doesn't hit another black source. Like just pray that he doesn't hit another black source, and go from there. So he drew an island because he played it. Like I wish I could hit mana so that when he finally does hit his golden demise, we just get to command the Dread Horde right back into it. Oh, that'd be so good. You've worked in a few kitchens. I've worked in my kitchen. I like to eat, and I like to enjoy good food. I fancy myself a fair cook, but I have my own taste. Like my palate is mine. I I don't necessarily like all the things everyone else may like. Dear God. Well, this is gonna hurt. I don't want to play Crafter because he just gets to discard what he wants to discard, right? You've worked as a kitchen? Red, white, green should be called Pico. Oh, alright. Oh, it's a haunt. It's not even... At least he's got a creature now. Don't hit a black source. Don't hit a black source. Just don't do it, man. It ain't worth it. I don't even know what he's got now. You'll be playing Abzan Kethis Heroes Sunday at SCG Columbus. Wish you luck. Is it the deck that you submitted? Now he can cast all the spells from our graveyard this turn. Is it the Kethis hero deck that you submitted this week, SirEklz? Madness, are you trying to say you've had a bun in the oven? Or he was the oven? There's some dough jokes there. What was more clever? Yeah. Look, a ravenous chupacabra. We got our own ravenous chupacabra. Alright. I guess we just take our hit next turn and let him... Like, let him get a Velis or something back on the battlefield. And then we'll Plague Crafter it. Man. I mean, that's a start. Yeah, I think the Reaper was the right play there, too. Because I knew that I was going to have to swing in to get rid of that. And then if he goes for, you know, one of his revivals next turn, we've got 13, so we can take a little bit of a hit. So he's just going to go for another Haunt. Land off the top would be... Oh, just give me a land off the top, dude. Land off the top. Just one. That's all I want. Orzhov Enforcer. Plague Crafter. Sack the Enforcer. Pay life, draw a card. Like, this deck's so far into, like, you have to have the Wanderer into something else. It's just, yeah. Did the Abzan get in tonight? The Kethis deck did. I assume that's the Abzan deck that you're talking about. But yeah, Kethis got selected for tonight. It's the one I'm saving for last. I probably should have played it first, but Sultai Command is very real. And 4-color Command is very real. Like, I mean, you can run the Wanderer in 4-color Command. Like, if you just dead set on, I have to play the Wanderer with my Command the Dread Horde, because I've seen those comments in people's videos and stuff. You know, like, why would you play Command the Dread Horde without the Wanderer in the deck? I personally don't think it's necessary. Like, your life source your life total is a resource. You should definitely try to use. Oh goodness, some bad sequencing there, right? Wanderer off the top. We got this. Come on. Alright. Alright. So let's kite sail. See if we can force his hand a little bit here. We take... I mean, he'd lose 4 life for that. We take Mnemonic, just so that he can't... Yeah. Just pray he doesn't top deck a revival spell here. Like, it is a really good combo when it works. It really is, but if you don't have it and your deck built to to require it, you're going to be in trouble. Of course you like. It is not fun just playing little bitty dudes that do very little. So now he flips search for Escanta. Yeah. You're supposed to be in bed, Lincoln. Go to bed. Well, I mean, 12 turns from now we might be able to kill him. Alright, whatever. Whatever. We've got one more game. Is there some other way we can sideboard to increase our odds here? I'll wait on you guys, chat. I don't know where I should be with this. Yeah, Lyra could be good for buffing life total. I agree with that, and I was thinking that I wanted life gain earlier anyway, so maybe you're right. I think the troops are going to be important. We might have actually won that last game if I'll take out a Dusk Legion Zealot. It's probably horrible considering I'm taking out. Maybe Kite Sail's not great. Maybe I just want like Seeker Squire because like his butt can get over. Yeah, I think I want that. Davriel seems like he might help here. I doubt it. Let's go with Davriel. Let's have some fun. Demise for the zombies. I hope he doesn't get to zombies. If I'm dying to his zombies in a non-true Field of the Dead deck, then I've already lost the game. What about the rat? The rat. No. I'm not a fan. Like I'm not a fan right here, right? Like I don't want to enable his discard. You get what I'm saying? Like the rat, well, it does strip cards from his hand, but he is a reanimator deck, and enabling him to, I mean, I guess Davriel does the same thing. So I don't even know what I'm talking about. Yeah. Like we don't have a good way to not make him discard cards, right? Yeah, you're probably right. Like maybe I wanted to go that route. You're probably right. Like I probably did want the rat if I was going to go with, if I was going to go with the discard plan. I'm trying to actually be more aggressive, and I don't feel the rat's very aggressive. And I brought Davriel in not for the discard, but for if we can get him hellbent. But you're probably right. I probably want the rat. Yeah, he's using Bonded Revival to bring things back, And I was thinking the 2 damage once it gets Hellbent off a dab roll, not necessarily the discard. Um, but then again, like the deck doesn't, it doesn't do that. I'm definitely just going to be as aggressive as possible in this matchup. Like if he's discarding, like if he's getting rid of cast down and things like that. All of these cards just feel so weak. Even though Dusk Legion Zealot's a great card. I like Dusk Legion Zealot. I like Plague Crafter. I like a ton of these cards, but and I pretty much don't have a choice but to see discard the Haunt of Hightower. Like I pretty much don't have a choice at him not discarding something. Like everything in this deck is going to make him discard. So what is his Arcane Adaptations for? Tapped out, so it doesn't matter if I play this first main phase or second. Just be aggressive, right? We've got some 3-3. We got a 3-2 and a 3-4. Fine Broker's a good card. He pitched Bond? What? Is he just already holding one? Or he's holding a couple? Alright, well, I mean, this will be the Bonded Revival turn. No? Guess not. So we get to hit him again? I'll be damned, we just won. We won the video game! Yay! Oh. Still didn't change things though. I mean, it bought him an extra turn, 2 turns. Now we're dealing with zombies. Oh no. Oh no. Do we kill the zombie so that we can swing for 3? Knowing that he just got back the means to bring in Haunt. I don't think I can. I guess we start making him discard cards. threw away a Field of the Dead. Alright, Davril. Are they just playing Tribal Bond? I don't know. That's not cool. City's Blessing gonna cost us our Davril. And Davril was supposed to win it for us. He will not be doing so. Womp womp womp. We had it won. We had it won to the damn Field of the Dead. What are you calling? I've got to know what you're calling. Demon. Okay. So he's a Liliana's contract deck. He's a Liliana's contract deck with um cards like Bond, and he's just turning all of his creatures into demons so that he's got this alternate win con. So now if he can get 4 different creatures onto the battlefield and a Liliana's contract, maybe I should have played that beforehand so I had more information before swinging. Like, if he can get a haunt back, then I just lose the Wanderer anyway. Yeah. Field of the Dead doing things. It's a very grindy deck. I swung with the Dusk Legion Zealot so that he'd be less likely to double block the Basilica Bellhunt. This feels like a budget Dev's deck that Dev made at the start of war. What are you talking about? The one we're currently playing, or the opponents? Because like it's got a bunch of the new cards in it, so I don't. Bant Scapeshift was 50% of the top 16 at GP. I knew it would be. I almost did a deck tech on it last week because like I started playing it, and just every time I got on Magic I just started playing that deck. The deck is so good. I guess that we block. Right, we try to keep the Wanderer alive and hope that we hit a Command the Dread Horde, but is that even possible? We've got one in the graveyard where he milled one of them. Yeah, he milled one of them. There's Golden Demise. We drew a swamp. He goes looking in the ruins of Azcanta to see what he can find. He found a Bond of Revival. Doesn't have the mana to cast it. He attacks the Wanderer here. Oh, magic! Yeah, we have a Kethis deck coming up next. In the side of your Kethis hero deck? That seems like it fit really good in Kethis. And the Kethis deck is the deck that you're planning on taking to Columbus? Alright. Well, why? Why, SirEklz? Like, I mean, I get a hero deck's pretty cool and all that, but like when it matters, when it really matters, like a GP or something like that, why? Do you think it has a shot at beating, like a consistent shot at beating? Alright, I'm done with this game. I'm done with this game. I'm done drawing lands. I'm done playing 2-mana 1/1s that don't do anything. Card quality's a thing, ladies and gentlemen. And Burglar Rat's cool and all. But it's not exactly a one. I mean, yes, it's a 2-for-1. You get to keep a body on the battlefield. They lose a card. You played a card. Granted, it's technically a 2-for-1, but you still just have a 1/1. You're not going to be pressuring your opponent. Like, I'm done. As far as any comments I do have about Command the Dread Horde, the combo with the Wanderer is sweet, but it is not going to save you all the time, right? Like, it's just, the Wanderer is not even bad. Like, there's a lot of green decks floating around. There's some good stuff. Like, I don't have a lot of bad things to say about this card, except for if your opponent is playing anything low to the ground, this card does almost nothing. Like, if they're just going to go on, like, say, red deck creature beats, then they're just going to beat you to death anyway, and you're never going to be able to use its minus. And then they don't have to burn you until they've dealt with this. They can burn this. Like, I don't know. Yeah, exactly. There you go. James Carr says, Command is so much better in decks built with better cards, right? Like, if you're spending, like, we brought back everything in our deck and the other opponent's deck when we were playing against the Nissa's deck, and just filled the battlefield full of crap that still couldn't even attack. We couldn't even put a point of damage across the battlefield after bringing back like 10 creatures. And I don't think that that's where we want to be, right? Like, it didn't actually change anything that we, I don't know. Play this with the cards that we know work. I like that you guys are experimenting and things. It's pretty cool here with Seeker Squire, but that does you no good if you're not gaining some life. Like, this is cute. This is just cute. Let's talk about Kethis. Now, this deck, you're really taking this deck to GP. Get rid of this card. Get this card out of your deck. Get it out of here. I get it. You're more likely to cast it than most. But this does not save you in top deck mode. This does not save you. You top deck this and you're going to be like, well, crap. If you're already winning, then you don't need this anyway. Get rid of this card. Please. Please. Dude, that card is great to cast from the graveyard. Did I switch decks? I didn't switch decks. Alright, so we've got this is a hero of Precinct 1 deck. So we want to cast multiple colored spells, right? We've got Thought Erasure to be able to rip cards out of their hand. We've got Fibble Theft to be able to draw some cards for ourselves. This is kind of like the blue Dusk Legion Zealot, right? We've got Assassin's Trophy to be able to destroy absolutely anything. This is a very high quality card, right? We've got Kethis. Like, let me jump back over here. Let's talk about the deck a little bit. Like, legendary spells you cast 1 less to cast. And you can exile 2 legendary cards from your graveyard until end of turn. Each legendary card in your graveyard gains. You may play this card from your graveyard. That seems really, really cool. We have like Oath of Kaya. Like, you can't cast this from your graveyard if you don't have a legendary creature or planeswalker on the battlefield already. And that's what I'm saying. Like, if you come up against any deck that can deal with your creatures or your planeswalkers, this is useless. Useless. I do like the fact that Kethis is a 3-mana 3/4, right? Like, Kethis is just good by himself. Like, it's a 3-mana 3/4 that is perfectly fine. Oath of Kaya, love this card. This card is amazing. I hate this card, but it's one of the best cards in Standard right now. Teferi Time Raveler, great card. Thought Erasure, another great card, very powerful. You're getting like a 1.5 for 1, right? Like maybe a 1.3 for 1 because you're getting to surveil, maybe throw something into your graveyard. Maybe even a 1.6 for 1 because like you can get some use out of throwing something in the graveyard, right? Like, so like it's a little bit more than a 1 for 1, but not quite a 2 for 1, right? If you have hero down, you are getting a 2 for 1 because like you're making the token off the hero. Sorin seems interesting here. I assume it's to be able to get back like a hero or a Kethis or something like that. But for the most part, you're just like trying to get the lifelink, being able to ping. Seems like that would be better in the sideboard and bringing it in against decks that are going to kill pretty much everything that you play. Shalai, another good way to protect your Kethis, and it is a. This still seems like a sideboard card. Mox Amber seems interesting. Like, you got some really interesting cards in here but the big one is I just would not play this card. I get that it's a legendary sorcery and it goes with Kethis, but this card has burned me. I'll show you on the doll where this card has burned me. You can't cast it from your yard without Kethis out anyway. That is true. That is true. So with the Kethis trigger on the stack, right? Because like exile 2 legendary cards from your graveyard until end of turn, each legendary like gains, right? So that's going to be a trigger on the stack. They kill Kethis, and now you could just play the Kethis again. I don't know. Let's just go play it. Let's just go play the damn deck. Like, I don't want to argue it, but I wouldn't take it to the GP. The Kethis version you will be playing this weekend is strictly Abzan. Testify, bro. I grew up in a Pentecostal family. I don't know if y'all know about Pentecostals. Orthodox. Like, the ladies didn't cut their hair. They did not wear makeup. They did not wear men's attire. And church was interesting growing up as a child. My grandfather was a Southern Baptist, so you had grandma who was a Pentecostal, and grandfather was a Southern Baptist, and yeah, so oh yeah, they were Orthodox, man. Like Orthodox or no, they were Orthodox. Yeah, for real. Forehead slapping and everything. Dude, we're talking sha la 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 na like, oh, I'm going to catch. I'm going to hell for that. I will. Damn it. Uh, but yeah, oh my goodness, like, we're talking cartwheels in front of the pulpit. You ever been to a snake handling church? That's interesting. There's an old joke about the snake handling church. Preacher come up to me. I was sitting in the back pew, had my feet up on the pew in front of me. He said, "If God asked you to take up this serpent, would you?" I looked at that preacher and I said, "I would. But he ain't, and I ain't." That's bad. That's a bad way to say a joke, but whatever. We can play like everything in our hands, so why not? Censor him. He's speaking in tongues. Right. To be fair, we're probably all going to hell, but mostly for other reasons. Oh, I know why I'm going. They say that you can get forgiveness, but Iraq was brutal. Sure, we went over to Iraq. Yeah. I think you have to like truly want forgiveness to be able to get forgiveness in those situations. I don't know if I can truly allow myself to be forgiven for some of the shit we did. But yeah, that's a whole nother story though. Doesn't matter that you being ordered to do it or not ordered to do it, or this is what the protocol is, or this is war or whatever. You still commit those acts. You can't blame that on some other people. Whenever one or more tokens enters the battlefield under your control, you may put that many counters on Woodland Champion. I'm gonna bounce that Woodland Champion. Get him, Fibble. So he's some type of token deck. So he's got one card left in hand here, guys. Like, he's already... I mean, we've got the... I just don't know which one I want to bounce, right? I mean, if he replays that, that's not a token, right? Alright, I gotta get some green mana down here. I don't have to pay for it, though. I'm just gonna, like, kill his stuff. And then next turn we'll start trying to like put a little bit of a board state out in front of us. And then at that point we can pretty much do whatever we want. Like our opponent's got some cute stuff going on here. Like he's playing a bunch of permanents here so that he can replay another one and get triggers off of this, but that's pretty good. That's pretty good. So yeah, if we go hero, what do we want to bounce? Maybe I don't want. I don't even want to play Teferi right now. Let's build a board state. Then we can like play Teferi from behind a wall. I ain't scared of you. I don't care about Moment of Craving. Like, what do you got? Rampage the Clan. Destroy all artifacts and enchantments for each permanent destroy this way. Its controller creates a 3/3 green centaur creature token. Wow. Wow. I am impressed. I am impressed, opponent. That was cool. Do I need that? I don't need it. He should be in some trouble right here. Rampage of the Clans. I was not expecting Rampage of the Clans there. At me, at me. If these don't have trample. Alright. The opponent's deck seems sweet. I mean, it seems interesting, but I would have to see its entire construction before I would say that it was sweet. Sweet. So do we want to kill his enchantments? I mean, his enchantments seem to do something when they enter the battlefield. And he's got a creature that allows him to do things when they exit the battlefield. Oh, no, we can't play any enchantments of our own because he'll pop them. We got some really good card quality in this deck. Can we just run it back? Like, what do we take out? Like, what do we take out versus this opponent? I don't actually know if I even want Gaia. Probably don't want Gaia, to be honest. Maybe I just want Soren. Or Gideon. Gideon would be more of a bruiser. Gideon doesn't do a whole lot if we're... This Cry the Carnarium's probably good, right? I really want to bring Kaya in. I really do. Like, to just, like, pop, like, you know, the little vampire enchantment. Maybe I do want Kaya. Kind of want Cry the Carnarium. Just bring in Cry. Schley seems bad here. Seems okay. Schley's in the air. Yeah, that's why I was thinking Kaya. Like, I was... I'm keeping this hand. This is what happens when you run 4-color rare. Like, this is the kind of stuff that happens when you run 4-color. It's fine though. We still get the Thought Eraser on too. You don't know if Cry hits enough? Fair. Nope. Why 4 colors with this deck? I'm going to Thought Eraser. Our opponent's hand. An Oath of Kaya. By Kethis. I mean, I've got a Kethis in hand that I can't cast, so like, it's not like I want another one right now. Alright, so he played the Isolated Chapel. Alright, Sun Petal. Now that'll get us somewhere. That'll get us into some Kethis territory. Green, white, black, Kethis. And then we play Vraska next turn for 3 mana? I'm all about that. Like green, black, colorless. Boom. Almost always been legends. Fair. Seems legit. Can I bend these 2 Urzas? Well, let me just throw those in the graveyard. That doesn't work. It's not how you play Magic. My bad. My bad, Madness. I forgot how to play Magic. He understands that joke. I think I'm just going to play a land, tap, and sack the land. And we'll leave up Assassin's Trophy here. Oh, I forgot. It's only 1. Kethis may be good just for that reason, right? Like, just reducing the converted mana cost of your spells seems pretty sweet. Fibbles up for 1? Sure. Probably sack Fibbles up this turn. I am so not letting him keep that card. Don't think we know what his last card is. Maybe we do. What did I select white for? Because I'm a Magic player. Hey, another Fibble Flip. So we get to swing. Sack Fibblethep, play Fibblethep. So sack Fibblethep, play Fibblethep, draw a card. We still don't have enough legends in the graveyard to actually do anything. Could have hit his treasure map. Could have. Sure could have. I would hit treasure map if I thought that he had card quality that I was worried about. But right here, I think we're just in one of those. That's pretty decent. No! No! Oh, why do you have blue in this damn deck? Jeez. That's my fault. I was thinking I could cast Oath of Kaya and I can't. Yeah, I butchered that. Yeah, Ruinous Blast will still be good here. Like, we're still ahead, so Ruinous Blast is great. Yeah. Pay F to pay respects, or press F to pay respects. Yeah, I butchered that. I don't think it's going to matter, but yikes. Alright, so how do we want to do this? So we can play this for 2, we can play that for, alright, so we don't need that. We're going to lose the Centaur anyway. I mean, yeah, he scoops. I heard him say it would be. I heard him say it would be good. Alert the media. Okay, all right. It is okay, but we actually didn't need Ruinous Blast there to get ahead that game, right? We could have held off quite a bit of time. You didn't need Ruinous Blast there. If I hadn't butchered the mana thing, we would have been able to kill something by replaying the. Yeah, we didn't need Urza's Ruinous Blast. Urza's Ruinous Blast is a win more card. All right, like it plays horrible from behind, plays great from ahead. Um, it's a win more card, and I don't know. I'm not a fan of Urza's Ruinous Blast. This card is it's definitely win more. I mean, if you've already got a legendary creature or planeswalker on the battlefield, then you should be winning, right? You have your creature down. I get it that it doesn't kill your dudes, which is pretty sweet, but you know, just in that particular situation, a Vraska's Contempt would have worked just as well. It would have still cast for 4 mana. We could have Assassin's Trophy. We could have, you know, just sit back and block a couple turns. Like we didn't have to Ruinous Blast there, and we weren't under any pressure. So, all in all, though, the deck was interesting. I just don't know how I feel about the 4-color, like the 4-color variant of this, like 4-color hero. This seems a little all over the place. Maybe better for a Super Friends deck. Fair. Like I can get behind. I can't get behind it because like if you're dying, if you're already dying, and you top deck an Urza's Ruinous Blast, you're like you just top decked your board wipe, right? That's supposed to save you from like almost any situation. It's supposed to save you from the Carnage Tyrants and everything else. It won't kill Lyras. It won't kill, like, it doesn't kill their legendaries either. So if they have a Shalai, they have a Lyra, like the, you know, the red white decks, doesn't do a whole lot against like any type of control deck. Like you're not going to do much there. Whereas at least Cleansing Nova, you could destroy like enchantments and things like that. Kaya's Wrath seems like it would be good. Kaya's Wrath's fairly, man, Kaya's Wrath might be hard to cast in a 4-color deck though. But I get it. He's wanting to cast it cast it from the graveyard, and I get that. But yeah, the deck did win though. We did win a game with it, so there is that. Don't take this 75, man. Yeah, Settle is the only reason everybody's not playing Settle right now. Is that one dude, right? That dude. No, I'm not giving it another world. SirEklz, like, I give it another whirl when I just completely butcher something and we don't win. That's when I'll give it another whirl. But the internet's fickle, right? You start giving one person another whirl because they asked for it, and then the next person, and then like everybody's, well, you played his deck twice, but why didn't you play mine? And I'm not going down that damn road. I'm just not. I'm an angry person today. If you guys can't tell, I'm just angry. It's been a bad day for me. Alright. Didn't get much sleep. And then, yeah. Girl Spellbreaker. Which is female, by the way. What's that got to do with anything? Why are you gonna mention Girl Spellbreaker's sex? Like, why you gotta do that? Why do you have to do why do you have to be that guy, Madness? Jeez. It's an interesting deck, but I don't think I would sleeve this up. I just wouldn't sleeve up Urza's Ruinous Blast. Been one weird weekend from Friday to Monday. I called it, dude. Whatever. Alright, anyway. Someone get the salt emojis. Right. It has. It's been a crazy weekend. We're gonna try to have some higher spirits tomorrow, right? Sorry the deck was trash. I think all decks are trash right now, right? If they're not tier 1, they're all trash. I am feeling very spiky the past couple days, so Samuel Elf Jackson. Oh my god, I will never get that out of my head. Samuel Elf Jack. Hold on a minute. Hold on a minute. Hold on. Hold on. Hold on. You know what? I don't want it that big. What have I done? What have I done? Alright. Here we go. Samuel Elf Jackson. Is it? Does he even look like Sam? Get these MFing words off this MFing paper. Right? I don't know. Someone has been getting their coffee hasn't been getting their coffee time in. No, I haven't. I have not. You know, you have bad days, you have good days. Today's a bad day, so I'm just like angry at the world and magic and everything in general. I think I just needed to go get my book, go sit down in a corner somewhere, put my headphones in, and just go away to some other fantasy world and just right. Yeah. Anyway, you can see it, man. I can see it, right? The pen is mightier than the crown. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, that's going to do it for me. I'm done. But fairy tales, oh god, madness, no. Alright, so we all know that we're going to Grimm's Horror Mother Goose meets what is it? Mother, like Grimm's Fairy Tales meets what? Or is it just Grimm's Fairy Tales meets Mother Goose? I don't know. Like, they're gonna be dark. It's gonna be dark. Like, there's definitely gonna be some cool arts and things like that in there. I think a lot of it's gonna be very nostalgic to most of us. Well, SirEklz, thank you for submitting your deck, dude. Like, I appreciate everything you guys do by submitting decks and going through my griping and complaining about everything. So, oh yeah, Grimm's Fairy Tale meets Camelot. That's how Madness put it. I appreciate it, Madness. Grimm's Fairy Tale meets Camelot. That's the next set we're going to. What is it? Eldheim? How do you? Oh, I don't even know how to pronounce it. Elfang? I can't remember. Madness, what's the name of the next set? Whoa, whoa, whoa. Eldraine? Eldraine? It's got to be rain, right? Eldron? Eldron? Is it rain or Ron? Rain? Man. I don't know how that AI is supposed to sound with a triple vowel in that syllable. Is that a long, like, would that be a long A? With it being a triple syllable? Okay, so you're doing Eldraine? L so you're going L instead of Eld? Alright. So yeah, where are we breaking the syllable is the first part. So you're going Eldraine? Eldraine? Nah. I don't think that can't be right. Eldraine? Nah. Eldraine maybe? Eldraine? Eldraine? I can see Eldraine. You read it as Eldraine, or maybe with a drag on the R. See, it's either Eldraine or Eldraine, right? Now there's not. You can't add another vowel in there. So it sounds like Eldarin. See what you just typed, so it looks like Eldarin, and I don't think it's Eldarin. I don't know. Uh, it's probably Eldraine. You're probably right, SirEklz. Like it's probably something simple. Alderon? Alderon? What? How do you get Alderon out of Eldraine? No. 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 We're going to Albion! To the Lady of the Lake and pulling the sword from the stone and Camelot and knights and dragging the R makes the R sound stretched. Not quite an sound, but more like L. I think you're trying to add an extra syllable out of the R, and I don't think we're supposed to do that. I think it's Eldraine. Eldrin. I think we're going to the Eldrin Forest. I think it'll be squished instead of dragged out. Eldrin. Eldrin sounds okay, right? Like Eldrin even sounds. We're going to Eldrin. Eldrine. Eldrine? It's got to be some in there with that E at the end of it. Why'd they have to tack an E on the end of this make-believe word? Whatever. It's high fantasy. They do what they want with words and syllables. And we'll put the wrong emphasis on the right syllable. Alright? Yeah. Yeah, that's how that works. Don't put the wrong emphasis on the wrong syllable. Whatever. Alright guys, that is going to do it for tonight. Thank you all for watching. You have all been absolutely wonderful tonight. Thank you all for submitting your decks. If you want to get in on next week, you can submit your decks over at the Sideboard MTG subreddit. The link is in the description below. All you have to do is submit a deck. It doesn't cost you it doesn't cost anything at all. You do have to have a Reddit account though. It's over on Reddit. So go over there, post those decks, vote on some decks. Let us know what you think. What are you running for M20 Week 3? What are you going to take to the big tournaments coming up? And yeah, that's about all I got. If you guys want to help support the channel, you can in a number of ways. The biggest one is just hitting that like button, hit that subscribe button. You know, that sort of thing helps out a ton. If you want to help monetarily, you can do it over on Patreon. You can do it right here on YouTube. I am preferring that people just hit the join button right here on YouTube, and that's even though that I don't get like all of that money, it helps the algorithm and it will help the channel grow. So I would rather have the growth than the hard cash. Like the growth would be great. So for all of you that hit join here on YouTube, thank you all so much. You do get those emotes and things like that. Other ways you can help, if you would like a one-on-one deck doctor, like we'll go down through and we'll break down absolutely every card in your deck for $10 a deck. So like if you want to get in Discord, I'm not going to stream those, but I will get in Discord and we will one-on-one talk about absolutely everything in your deck. If you just want your mana base fixed or something like that, we can do that. So I am offering that for those of you that want it, and you can pay for those either on PayPal or donations right here on YouTube. So everyone, thank you very, very much. My name's Eric. You've been watching Sideboard MTG, and we'll see you next time.